Hello and welcome back to Boomer 11. Well, we were gone for a few days, about which we will be talking about something exciting brewing in the background. But for today, we have to talk about today's match, which was in the forefront of things. And you can see why Sandipani has a slight smile on his face because it's Rinku Singh once again. Come at the hour, come at the last delivery. Rinku Singh can pull out rabbits like this. But you would have to say Punjab Kings almost wipe that smile out of your face, Andimani, because came too close to comfort towards the end, isn't it?
Exactly, and with Arshdeep Singh bowling so well, I think Arshdeep Singh was extremely unlucky today not to finish with a wicket. On another day, if he would have bowled like this, I think at least two wickets would have been in that wickets column for Arshdeep Singh. But the way he was bowling and the way he bowled that final over, taking nothing away from me, I think there was one delivery prior in the middle of the over as well when he was bowling to Rinku Singh. It was a full toss which Rinku couldn't really capitalize on, so two full tosses at the end, but those were low full tosses, and with the pressure that he had built from the other end, I think it was anybody's game. So brilliant comeback from Punjab Kings to start off with, but I think KKR were just a notch better on today, and rightly so. Now they're back in the middle of the table.
I wouldn't say right. I mean, this is such a crazy table. It's almost like Mumbai traffic in the evening. I mean, everyone is there at 10 and 8. I mean, you never know. Even Sunrisers and Delhi seem to have an outside chance at this point in time. Able to talk about the crazy over that Shivani Gupta is talking here. Arshdeep Singh, he showed his fellow left armer Sam Curran how to ball in the death, wasn't he? He was picture perfect, took the ball away from the arc of Andre Russell. Man, it was not even like he was balling the same delivery over and over again. He started the over with a bouncer, shocked Andre Russell, and then kept balling away from his arc before Andre Russell finally gave up and got himself run out. And he almost kept the count. It's just a one delivery. The margin of error was so little that just one full toss and the game was over. You would have to feel for Ashdeep Singh after the kind of over he ended up balling.
I agree with you totally on that. But firstly, I thought KK shouldn't have dragged this game till the last ball. This should have been over maybe a couple of balls earlier itself. But such is the over. He balled really well. He stuck to his plans. But I'll also go back to KKR's bowling as well. The last over where Harshit Rana considered a load of runs. So that's also has come into play over here. If that over would not have gone for 21, this
Yeah.
game could have been well under KKR's control way earlier as well. I mean, I thought that was some really poor bowling there to give Punjab a chance, and itself was a bad move because this could have gone anywhere. 180 was a defendable total, and in 180 can be very tricky as well, especially in these kind of grounds because the pitch wasn't really ideally flat like the KKR surface. So that's where KKR should be looking back, and they almost made a mess of it. But I have to say, a lot of players. I have to give credit to Nitish Rana, the kind of innings he played today. He was really calculating it, but the time at which he got out, he'll be really disappointed because when you're playing such an innings, you would want to finish it off. And we have spoken time and time again. In maybe if you're batting first, you like to take the risk, but when you're batting second, especially, I know he was trying to struggle. He was trying to miss time a little bit during that particular innings, but then I think he should have really stood there and finished it off. But yeah, when you have someone like Rinku Singh, who's now really growing up to be a finisher for that liking, he's been really groomed for that role, coming in and playing these cameos time and time again. He's been able to pull it off. I mean, we've often spoken about how tough it is to do that job, or how tough it is to fill the boots and really get the game close. But now he's been able to finish it off on consistent basis. But regardless of all that, yeah, that's what I would like to say. That's because for me personally, that game shouldn't have gone to the last ball. But as long as it was exciting, 2 days, two close super overs, we missed it. This could have been two super overs in 2 days rather.
I mean, yesterday's was just a whole another set of drama. It's just me and Abel were watching the match on our way to a particular place. Again, as I said, towards the end, we will reveal what that is, but or what it could be. But we just remember watching that catch being taken and just closing off because we had to continue on our journey. And we were like, the match is done. It was a very close one. Abdul Samad couldn't finish it. Unfortunate. Great job by Sandeep Sharma. And then it was an hour ago, just before going to sleep, that I checked my phone and I realized Sunrisers have won the game, and it was some drama. Then we had to go back, check the highlights before we go to bed because I mean, that was some match, and that's what the point that Rudra Pratap makes. This year's IPL is it's just amazing. I mean, there's no words, there's no adjectives that you can put up. It's been so tight. Everything has come
Yeah.
down to the last wire. Every wide, every no ball, every catch, every run out. It can place us huge implications on this year's IPL. That's how tight it has become. I mean, just look at today. Look at where Kolkata and Punjab were in the points table. And if Punjab had won, they would have been in third spot. You would say they would be comfortable, probably even challenge the likes of Chennai and Gujarat at the top of the table. You never know. But now, because it is becoming so close, again, it seems like the team which is at the lower half of the table compared to the other team, just seems like it is giving chances to the teams that have not done that well this season. It's that congested right now.
Well,
Saloni, thank you so much. I mean, we missed you. We missed doing live here as well. It was something we had to forego for a while, but we're just glad to be back. But Sanjay, let's break down now this whole match as much as we can. Let's get to some of the talking points. Let's start with the Punjab batting lineup. They've had their issues, isn't it? There are days when they come out, they look like an amazing team, which is no problem whatsoever. But then there are days like what we saw today, where Prabh Simran and I mean even Jitesh Sharma for that matter, Rajapaksa, they all struggled against pace bowling. I mean, credit has to be given to Vaibhav Arora and Harshit Rana. Vaibhav Arora, who bowled some darting in swingers, was really good today. We've been screaming, our lungs out to get this guy to play. He's finally come good today. What is your take on Punjab's batting first, and then the two fast bowlers in the top of the in the power play for Kolkata?
Yeah, talking about Punjab's batting, I think they came out with the intent to score 200 because last four innings they have gone on to concede more than 200 runs, and KKR producing such belter surfaces prior to this game. They had a feeling that they had to score 200 to stay in the game with such short boundaries on the square on one of the side for uh, one of the batters. I mean, it changes after every over. So, I mean, with short boundaries, players would back themselves to go on and go get a score of 200. If they wouldn't have lost three crucial wickets in the power play, I think first two wickets Prabhsimran Singh has played that way throughout. Rajapaksha came in, struggled in the two balls that he was in the crease, couldn't get the bat to any of the deliveries. He was struggling to find any rhythm. Third delivery, saw the ball outside off stump. His eyes lit up, tried to play that expansive drive, got caught behind. And then Liam Livingston came in, and still you could feel that Liam Livingston, if he would have stayed in till the ninth or 10th over, the intent for Punjab
But
Kings would
Sanjay,
still have been the same.
My problem with that is Shikhar Dhawan said at the toss that it looks like a very dry pitch. So if after that recognition also they went on to try and score 200, is that also because they doubted their bowling, which is also given that many amount of runs in the past few matches?
Yeah, exactly. That is my point, right? If your bowling team has gone on to concede 200 in pitches which are not, I mean, 200 is not a par score in pitches where they have even gone on to score concede 200 runs with the ball. And not just 200, higher ends of 200, 214, 257. Teams are just batting with ease against them. So when your bowling team is underconfident, when your bowlers are going for plenty, you saw that with KKR as well in some of the previous games, probably in the game against Mumbai Indians, where they were looking to come in and target, like go too heavy at the top, lose plenty of wickets, and then they realized, okay, we can't go on to score 200, we have to settle for 180, 170, something like that. So I think when your bowlers are underconfident, when your bowlers are not doing well, the batting team always sort of goes on to try and get something in excess of par. And like Bharat Arun mentioned in the middle as well, that 180 was a par score. And Varun Chakravarti told as well, like after the first innings, that if we can just tackle the spinners, I think 180, the ball was coming onto the bat really well towards the later end of Punjab innings, in Punjab Kings innings as well. So I think if they would have just paced themselves better, but this is just Punjab's template, right? They go out, they come out, and then they bat hard. You have all these batters coming in and trying to score rapidly. But once they lost those three quick wickets, once Liam Livingston went out and Jitesh Sharma came in, I think that is where they sort of realized, okay, after that first strategic timeout, they realized, okay, we can go for 180, and we have Rahul Chahar, Harpreet Brar, and probably get in some overs from Liam Livingston as well. And I think with losing three wickets early on, I really don't understand their enmity with Sikandar Raza. because I felt, Nathan Ellis did a good enough job. This sort of conditions suit Nathan Ellis as well, but they had enough pacers, right? You had a Rishi Dhawan, you had Sam Curran, and you had an Arshdeep Singh, and you don't need anybody else to sort of come in as a pacer and do the job for you. When, especially when you saw Nitish Rana come in and bowl the 15th or 16th over for KKR, I think Sikandar Raza coming in the lower order could have probably given 10-15 runs with the bat as well, and then 4 overs with the ball. I think Nathan Ellis went for 27 runs, picked 1 wicket. But if you could have had somebody of Sikandar Raza's caliber, and with KKR's struggle against spin, because Rahul Chahar went just considered picked up 3 wickets in the last 10 games this season, and you know whenever Rahul Chahar is bowling against KKR and KKR are playing that leg spinner, they are going to there is a high chance that they're going to give away their wicket, because most of left-handers, they just try to take the attack on the bowlers. Too many players trying to play the sweep and reverse sweep uh, excessively. And you saw Rahul Chahar come in and pick 2 wickets. So Sikandar Raza taking the ball away from the left-handers, occasionally getting it in as well. I think it would have been a great matchup for Punjab Kings as well. And talking about KKR's bowling, I think this is the second game on the trot where they're playing one extra pacer or one extra bowler, because Harshit Rana, Vaibhav Arora, we always thought that either of the two can play, because Umesh Yadav was not in the best of forms. And once you have a Shardul Thakur playing, you can probably give in with one of the players. You can just play either Harshit Rana or Vaibhav Arora, because you otherwise just drop Shardul Thakur once again as well, because you're not using him with the bat, you're not using him with the ball. He's like a Rahul Tewatia of your team, barring the finishing skills that Rahul Tewatia has for Gujarat Titans. So I think, but I think today Shardul Thakur has had a great record against Punjab Kings, but Nitish Rana did not utilize him with the ball. So pointless playing a Shardul Thakur, and so I think one extra bowler that they're playing. But so far, I think this plan is sorted. They want Harshit Rana, Vaibhav Arora at the top in the power play, 2 overs each. They want Vaibhav Arora towards the later end as well. I don't see them using a Harshit Rana towards the death overs. Like Abel said, poor bowling, 21 runs. Apart from that one Yorker that he nailed, I think 21 runs in that could have been the match.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Michael Andrews says that should have been bowling wiser. That's something that I think would be. I would like to take that. I think he means to say about Kings 11, but I think both the teams today did not ball that well in the death. It just seemed like they were bowling the ball in the slot today. Especially Sam Curran. I want to talk about Sam Curran, and also about why they're not being there, why Kagiso Rabada isn't playing. Nathan Ellis has, I think, has done a good job. He still deserves his place in the team. If you look at Sam Curran, in his 4 years in the IPL, right, his average has never been better. His average is 24.5 this season. But to be very frank, he's only had one season where his average is, has been below 20, which is that 2021 season. Where with CSK, I think that was the one season where he had an average below 20. His strike rate has only been 137 compared to the number 5 spot he plays at. Then if you look at his bowling, that's where Punjab are being hurt more. His economy is 10.28 for the 7 wickets that he's taken, goes at an average of 55.6 and a strike rate of 32. Now you reckon, we spoke about Sam Curran initially in the tournament, you reckon now he is justified that price tag? He's come up with some performances, yes, but he's never won a game. And when you have that kind of a price tag, you expect a player to be a match winner every game, or if not every game, at least win you 3 games on his own. But he's not really done that. And today, what you saw was really bowling opposite to what you should be bowling if an Andre Russell is batting in the kind of form he was.
Yeah, I mean, you have to say it's just bad execution of these plans from Sam Curran. Time and time again, he's gotten him to really go out there and bowl a wide Yorker, and he was doing that pretty well. But then sticking away from the plans is something which you shouldn't be doing, and that's where I really like to blame a lot of these bowlers. Especially Sam Curran. This season, I understand there's a lot of pressure on him. He did captain for a couple of games as well. I mean, I wouldn't really judge him saying that it's been a failure of a season, but it's been that kind of a season for a lot of these bowlers across IPL. It's just not Sam Curran. A lot of these bowlers have gone for plenty of runs because wickets have been conducive to 200 plus scores and 180 plus scores. So I won't really pick up saying that Sam Curran has only picked up 7 wickets and he's gone for 10 runs per over, and he's bowling these tough overs as well. At the end of the day, how many death bowlers have got an economy less than 8 or 9? It's very less. I mean, even if you look at the purple cap holders for that liking, even Tushar Deshpande goes at 10 and
Yeah.
11 towards that trend, or anybody else also goes at that rate. So I won't really judge Sam Curran based on his economy rate or wicket taking tally, but it's just about execution of these skills in particular overs. For example, Arshdeep almost did it, though he did not have a great game for that liking. He almost executed it. If that last over he would have made it into a tie, defending just 6 runs in the last over, he would have possibly executed that skill. What Sam Curran had to do today was not picking up wickets, right? It was about the last 2 overs and that second last over where he came to ball. He should have possibly closed it for 14 at max and not let it slip away less than that. But he was balling. He did not have a plan where to ball to Russell. It was either to ball on his legs or to try to go away from him. He did not do any of this. When he tried to go wide, he again went for runs. He should have possibly stuck with one plan. He had tried to mix it up completely, and that's why he went for plenty of runs. I know it's not easy to execute a leg stump Yorker because Russell is someone who likes to pick it up from his angle and just tries to clear it because one side of the ground was anyway shorter. So that's one of the reasons why he was also trying to go to the leg stump Yorker. But I still think for someone like Russell, if you're going wide of the stump, it's definitely going to be out of his arc. Number one, and number two, Russell is still it's not the Russell of the past, right? Who's going to go out there and simply go out there and do a job by clearing all parts of the ground. So that's one advantage which he had, but I think he messed it up completely by not trying to execute it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about Sandeep? What do you reckon about Kagiso Rabada coming into this team? Now you spoke about Sikandar Raza, who could have been in the team. Why do you think Kagiso Rabada is not being given a chance? Would you put Kagiso Rabada instead of Sam Curran, or you reckon you would still
No, you
forego
won't
someone
replace
like
Sam
Nathan
Curran
Ellis?
for
And
sure. I
have
think it's going to be Nathan
Rabada?
Ellis.
Yeah, I think for sure you can't replace a Sam Curran, not just because of his price tag, but because they are using Sam Curran as a middle order batter as well. You see him come in at number 5, you see him come in at number 6, ahead of a Shah Rukh Khan, ahead of a Rishi Dhawan. So he is their backed up middle order batter who can play a crucial role. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have gotten a Sam Curran ahead of a Jitesh Sharma today, because Jitesh Sharma does well coming in a bit later towards the innings. He is your ideal finisher who can sort of take the attack on the bowlers. But we saw him struggle against spin today. But nonetheless, I think Sam Curran, they have utilized Sam Curran, and they are using, I mean, at least trying to utilize every ounce of that 18.5 crores that they have spent on him. Give him all the important positions in the field, give him the crucial overs with the ball and with the bat as well, get him at number 5, number 6. But I see Rabada coming in place of Nathan Ellis in pitches which won't be slower or stickier, a bit on the drier side. Because you see a pitch which is drier, and you always realize that Nathan Ellis will do a good job in it with his slower deliveries, with his variations, and his change of pace as well. But on the other hand, Rabada the is not coming, did not come to the IPL with a great form as well. Even though he has been one of the best cricketers or best bowlers in the IPL for the last 3-4 years, if you include the past 3-4 years, he has been a major wicket taker for any franchise that he plays for. But coming to this tournament, coming to this season of the IPL, I think Nathan Ellis was their more bankable bowler and their go-to bowler towards the death overs as well. It was strange to see that they used Nathan Ellis early on today, because I think Nathan Ellis and Arshdeep Singh operating from both ends would have been a deadlier combination. You could have probably had another over of Sam Curran in middle as well, or probably got in one over from a Harpreet Brar maybe. So I think Punjab Kings, I think it has got to do with the template. I don't see Dhawan experimenting anything with the ball. He has that set template when to bring in which bowler, and I think he is just blindly following it and asking the bowlers to perform or do their job. And I think Sam Curran, in his second over that he bowled, he was bowling to a plan, even though he went for 11 runs in that over, but he was bowling according to a plan closer to the tram line, wide line, and it was difficult to get him away. And even for Russell, if he would have bowled outside the arc, like Abel mentioned, I think he would have Russell would have struggled to sort of hit it on the leg side, and you could see that Russell was really trying to muscle the ball whenever the ball was pitched outside the off stump in a fuller length. So I think he did not even bowl according to the plan. 3 short deliveries. Okay, I understand the first one was to sort of take Russell out of his usual plan of trying to take out his leg and try to play that fuller delivery. The first ball was justified, but after that, a short pitch delivery outside the off stump when you have no protection square on the offside on a 58-meter boundary. That is just inexplicable. And also last delivery as well. It was a nothing delivery, good length delivery. Also the first delivery that Russell just flicked for a six. I think it was once again a half volley. He tried to bowl a Yorker. He fell short by a lot. So I think he's not in the greatest of rhythm while bowling. So the best place where he can come in and get on with his overs is in that middle overs period, where Punjab Kings were sort of getting a hold onto KKR's batters. Talking about KKR's batters, I think Venkatesh Iyer, 3 innings, 3 negative impact innings. Talk about a negative impact on a player that a player can have on a team. I think Venkatesh Iyer is fulfilling it with every innings that he gets to play for KKR.
Absolutely. I mean, we have to talk about that part of the Kolkata innings as well now, Abel. Today, I mean, just they had a very good start, you would say, with the likes of Jason Roy playing a hand that he did. Ramanullah Gurbaz, though, not really coming up to it. I mean, again, he took a review which completely annoyed Jason Roy without really even looking at Jason Roy. He went for it. Even, I mean, the
I have an
camera showed that
interesting
Jason
take on
Roy
that review. I
explicitly
think,
said
yeah.
no.
No. I think Jason Roy was trying to indicate to Rahmanullah Gurbaz, or whether asking him whether he had some bat on the delivery, and that is what
Yeah,
the
and when
umpire
he said
assumed
he
to
did
be.
not, Jason Roy said, "No, please don't take it." But he was already in that mindset that he has to take one. But then, I mean, afterwards, but the only player who really did not do well today was Venkatesh Iyer, wasn't it, able? Everyone else did contribute, probably
Yeah.
except for even Shardul Thakur. Now, I mean, my question to you: let's talk about the Shardul Thakur conundrum as well. Why
Mhm.
are KKR playing with only 10 players? It just seems like at this point in time, KKR playing with 10 players and one substitute fielder, because neither is he getting chance to bat nor is he getting a chance to ball. Batting, I can understand he does. I mean, you won't be at least putting him ahead of the likes of Rinku Singh, Andre Russell,
Yeah.
or Venkatesh Iyer, or anyone else that came above him. But is there any specific reason you feel why he isn't bowling? Is he not 100% fit? And if he's not, then
I
why is
think
he playing?
Um, possibly. I mean, I'm not quite sure about his fitness status, but there were rumors that he's not 100% fit as well. So that could be one of the reasons why he's not been given the ball in hand. But other than that, I really don't understand what's the point of him. I mean, two players that bought for close to 21 crores are just not being made the most out of it. I mean, this season could have been slightly more different for KKR if they would have had that 21 crores in the kitty going into that auction. I mean, they could have bought a lot more players. I mean, imagine they would have bought a better bowler for their liking or a better batter in the middle order for their liking. This entire scenario would have been much different for KKR. But despite of that, I think KKR has still done a good job to come back out of the holes they've gotten into. And they've got lucky a couple of occasions. I mean, today and even the game against Sunrisers, they really pulled themselves out of the hole. And when you get into these kind of runs, you don't really look into it. But talking about Venkatesh Iyer, I personally think uh, it's just the role clarity as to where he has to bat. And I mean, some of the games you've opened with him, some of the games you put him at number 3, number 4. I also think at this point of stage, Venkatesh Iyer really prefers coming into faces spin, but he's just not getting to go in because the kind of start he had in the IPL, the way he's tapered off, I can't really find a reason what has really happened with him because he was batting well. At the end of the day, I have to be very honest, he was batting really well when he started off in the IPL, the way he was taking on the spinners as well. But somewhere down the line, I think it's just the pressure, right? The pressure and with that, KKR's lackluster form in the IPL as well has really gotten into him because we did also speak about how he was playing for his personal milestones, how he was slowing down immensely, which is affected KKR not just in this game, in multiple other games as well. Let's talk about the 100 which he scored for that liking. He did slow down there as well. So there are issues with Venkatesh. I think it's just that pressure which has gotten onto him as to how he should be playing. Maybe it's not a bad idea to just put him at number 3 and just go out there and whack the ball. Sometimes it's just small things which comes into play. But I think regardless of that, I think Nitish Rana has played a good knock today. I mean, I have to be very honest with you on that. I mean, I really want him to do well because he's the captain of the team, and when he does well, you often know that this KKR team has gone on to do well. And if you look at this year's innings as well, he's done a couple of 3 or 4 games, and all the 4 games KKR have gone on to do well. They've all gone on to win as well. So that is the impact which Nitish Rana has on this team, and that's the impact which he actually has. When your captain often does well, the team often derive some bit of inspiration as well. So I personally think Venkatesh Iyer, if you want, you can drop him, but I still think it'll be too harsh on him to drop him and bring someone else. Who do you bring now? Now you don't have a lot of options on the bench as well as to bring someone in. You tried Jagdishan out. Now who you got? I mean, you literally do not have anyone else. Or else you have to try to drop Rahman Gurbaz for that liking and bring in David Villa. Again, you're going to make a complete mess of things. Let's stay the way it is because it is not really shaken. I mean, Venkatesha will come good at some stage, but at the same time, he shouldn't be consuming a lot of balls. He should try to go out there, make a mark straight up. I mean, Venkatesh has often played well when he's gotten off the blocks pretty quickly. When he's taken a little bit of time, it's often bogged him down.
Yeah, I think today he had some sort of ankle
Absolutely.
irritation going on. That is why he left the field early when they were fielding. So technically, when KKR lost the first wicket, Venkatesh Iyer couldn't really come into bat. It was still 1 or 2 minutes left for Venkatesh Iyer's time to sort of get over, and then he could come into bat. So they had to force Nitish Rana to come in at number 3. They were forced to change the batting order today. But at the end of the day, I think Nitish Rana played really well, and I think that's just about the job clarity. I mean, Venkatesh Iyer coming in at number 4 shouldn't have occupied those deliveries, and I think he was really struggling today with his ankle as well. Wasn't able to run really fast, wasn't really able to sort of take the quick twos. So they were just caught. KKR were just caught in the middle, taking those singles, and they allowed players like Rahul Chahar to settle down because Rahul Chahar coming into today's game would have been underconfident. 3 wickets in 10 matches, defending only 180, where KKR had got to off to a good start. I think Jason Roy provided another great start for KKR. Got out at the wrong time, right after the power play, but he did his job. 38 of 25 was exactly the sort of start that KKR needed, and was exactly the sort of start that KKR were missing prior to this. When they're coming into chase at 220, 230, it is always good to have 54 runs, 55 runs of the power play. When KKR are conceding well in excess of 50 runs in the power play in all the games. So it is good to have that 54, 55 in the power play rather than a 30 for 3 or a 40 for 3. So I think Jason Run coming in, playing that sort of an innings, Ramanullah Gurbaz applying himself in and then trying to look to hit the ball. Today, I love the fact that he did not try to come in and take the attack on Arshdeep Singh from ball 1, because I think an early wicket today and KKR, Venkatesh Iyer couldn't come into number 3. You had to have a Nitish Rana coming in at 4 runs or 5 runs, and I think things would have been different. So I think it was good that the opening partnership sort of had some sort of a go, scored 35, 36, 38 runs of the first wicket. Then Nitish Rana had to come in and they got that middle wickets. They lost wickets at regular intervals, but that is just KKR being KKR. So you can. It was just a KKR sort of a template sort of innings with the bat. You had all the batters coming in, chipping in, and scoring those important runs. Rinku Singh coming in 21 of 10, Russell 42 of 23. And we have been overly critical about Russell not being there this season, not doing it for KKR. He would have been angry with himself for not finishing the game. But on the other hand, I think this game was made to look KKR's, and they could only lose it because of Andrew Russell. Because those 3 sixes in that penalty made over was not easy. Even though the bowler was not bowling, it is not always easy to hit sixes for fun. And then he was going at the longer leg side boundary. So I think credit should go where credit is due. And I think this is the exact sort of role that Andrew Russell needs to play for KKR. Not overly reliant on a Russell, but they have to be reliant on Russell to get the job done. 60 of 30 balls is where Russell comes in. Not Rinku Singh comes in and you need a 50 of 18 deliveries and then Russell comes in. Because equation becomes different. Once the required rate goes in excess of 12 runs, Andrew Russell coming in for the first ball, second ball, and then trying to take the attack on the bowlers is always going to backfire on KKR. So I think perfect timing to get in a Russell ahead of a Rinku Singh today. And I think this is the way that they should go about it. I have no complaints with them apart from that death overs bowling and probably a Venkatesh Iyer showing some initiative in that middle overs period.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty much it from this particular match. But we have to talk about how the table is set up right now after this match, because a lot of chopping and changing in the table. It almost seems like it's the KKR's opening. It's the opening batters. It's how much changes have been in this table in the last few since we've been away. So as to say, so just bring it up on the screen, and as you guys can see, even if you could just zoom in a little bit so that it could be a little bit more clearer.
Yeah.
I mean, if as you guys can see, it's pretty much packed right there. As of now, it's just LSG, CSK, and GT, who you would say are a little further apart. Not that much at all. In fact, LSG you would say doesn't have any advantage whatsoever. But if you remove, I mean, probably GT is the one who's really set up at this point in time to go ahead and qualify. But aside from that, anything can happen at this point in time. You've got five teams who've got 10 points: RR, KKR, RCB, Punjab, and Mumbai. With Mumbai and RCB probably slightly advantages the fact that they have an extra game in their hands. And then Sunrise and Delhi looking, I mean, from the outside, you never know. You never know right now. Abel, what's your take on it? I mean, especially tomorrow's match, you could probably see an RCB slip, into the fourth place if they win it, or a Mumbai slip to the fourth place. Imagine you're going from eighth spot to the fourth place
They'll go to the third
right away
place
after
rather.
being after so
So
many much.
whoever wins tomorrow goes to the
Yeah, or
third
rather
place.
the
So
third
that's
place.
how
The
it
third
will
place,
be.
rather. Yeah, both the
Yeah,
teams could
so
make a
I
third
mean
place
anybody
their
can
own tomorrow.
qualify at this stage, Jaren. I mean that's what I would say. But because if you look at it, I'm not pretty sure about Sunrisers and Delhi because I still think 8 points. They can make a chance for themselves, but until unless some because there are some of the teams are going to play up against each other as well. So one of them is going to get a victory. It's not impossible until unless all the games get
Yeah.
rained out as well. So mathematically speaking as well, you need to put some bit of logic into it. But if you look at some of the losing runs, right, there are reds everywhere throughout that column more than green. That's one thing which is very glaring. One of the reasons why table has really opened up is because a lot of these top teams have started to lose and started to derail themselves. So, for example, Lucknow Super Giants has not really won a game in the last 3 games. They've got one result because of the rain. They lost two, and they got one in between because where they scored some good amount of runs there. So, other than that, they've lost majority of the game. Out of the last 5 games, they've just been able to win one. Rajasthan Royals out of the 5 games have just been able to win one. So these were the teams who were really running away with it at the start of it. Now all of a sudden there has been a sudden break which has been put. It's like a landslide in front of them, and they really have to cross it. And some of the so that what it has allowed is they've lost a lot of these teams from the bottom of the table. So it has opened up the table. But for me at this point of stage as well, like last year, Gujarat Titans are still running away with it. They look they look like the most favorite to go out there to make it to the top two for sure, and also maybe to play the final because of the run of form, because of the momentum they carry, because of the less holes in their team at this point of stage at least.
And also
Absolutely. Sorry,
interestingly,
wait,
you
wait.
have a KKR. You have a KKR who is on number 5, who is about to take on Rajasthan Royals at 4, Lucknow Super Giants at 3, and CSK at 2. So I think, and also talking about the middle card, I think RCB and MI play tomorrow. So one of the teams will have that advantage of going in at 12 points out of 11. Apart from the 3 teams that are already clear. So at the end of 11 games for all the teams, you will have 4 teams clear, 4 teams who will be clear on points, because Lucknow Super Giants will be very happy or relieved with that 1 point that they got of that CSK game. So 11 points out of 11
Hmm.
games will give them that just that extra edge. So I think still now, I think 15 points is going to be the cutoff, because especially because CSK and Lucknow Super Giants have gone on and got that one additional point. Having said that, I think Lucknow Super Giants and Rajasthan Royals will be the 2 teams that will be really uncomfortable at the top, like you mentioned. One with out of the 5, and for Lucknow Super Giants in particular, you have a team playing at Eknath Stadium where you don't have very good players of spinner, and with KL Rahul not being in the camp, Krunal Pandya being the stand-in skipper, they have a lot of holes. The injury of KL Rahul is really going to dampen their chances of making it to the playoffs, but they still will have to get back to winning ways really soon. Rajasthan Royals, on the other hand, will be kicking themselves because they have been on the wrong side of things, of of very, like, plenty of close encounters. The game against Mumbai Indians, they shouldn't have lost. The game against Sunrisers Hyderabad, they shouldn't have lost. So they are scoring 212 runs, 214 runs, and going on to lose, which is a bad sign for any team, especially when you have bowlers like Yuzvendra Chahal, Ashwin in your team. The fifth bowling option and the fourth bowling option are their concern, especially that death bowling concern, because you have a Jason Holder who is not your death overs bowler, who is not bowling in the death. You have to have a Sandeep Sharma, no matter, even if he goes for 25 runs in one game, you have to give him that confidence that you can go out there and you can defend it. And that is where the concern is, because you have a Kuldeep Yadav come in, get smacked for plenty. You have a Kuldeep Sen come in, not really make an impact, or not really Sanju Samson does not really show the confidence in him to take that death overs bowling. So I think there are lots of holes in that death overs bowling, and with teams going on to score 200 and losing, it's never a good sign. So Rajasthan Royals and Lucknow Super Giants will be the teams who will be really, really concerned right now. Whereas teams like RCB, Mumbai Indians in particular, because apart from that last game where they were thumped against the CSK yesterday, apart from that game, I think Mumbai Indians have looked pretty solid after that poor start. And RCB as well, they have had glimpses of brilliance, and then you have the 15 years of RCB coming in, settling in, and they just lose a game out of the blue, and you wonder whether they are meant to be in that top four or not. But teams like Punjab Kings, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Delhi Capitals are now with an outside chance of making it, because I don't see Sunrisers Hyderabad, Delhi Capitals, even the Delhi Capitals is in a red hot form, or is in a purple patch in terms of winning matches. They have won 4 of the last 5 games. They have won 4 of the last 10 games as well. So it won't take them time to sort of get one loss and one loss out of the next 4, and they are more likely to be out of the competition. KKR as well. I think so. The 5 teams: KKR, Delhi Capitals, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Punjab Kings will be very, very tentative of winning. They'll have to go on out there in every game, and they have to put on a winning show. So these 4 teams apart, the other 6 teams look to be in contention for the race. And if it goes on to be like this, I won't be surprised if a Mumbai Indians, RCB make it to the top 4 along with the GT and CSK, because Lucknow Super Giants, Rajasthan Royals on the downslide. The other 4 teams not really looking settled, even though they are winning matches here and there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I
I agree with
mean,
that.
that's the kind of IPL it's been, and I think Rahul is right to say that every KKR fan would be happy that they've won this match, because it would have really put them under pressure. And I think it's much better for them that they're not at a number 8 spot and they're the number 5th for now, almost knocking on the doors of the top 4. But I think that's pretty much from the Indian Premier League side of things. Now, if you guys, for those of you who are wondering where all of us were, for me and Abel took a trip very recently, and we have something very exciting coming up. I mean, that's pretty much what I can say. Abel, what do you reckon? I mean, how much can we reveal at this point in time?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Just wait for it to drop. It's just not that. I mean, a lot of things are also waiting the Indian side of things. People who play fantasy contests in India, there's something really lined up for you as well. So just stay tuned. There's a
Yeah.
lot to happen. I mean, we can't promise you when and what time and what date. We're not going to tell you that because we're not also sure about it. But when it is going to come out, we will definitely, put something out, just to hype things up. So yeah, that's why we were not in the city. We had to travel. It was something related to cricket with something related to IPL. That's all I can reveal
Yeah.
at this point.
It's something related to YouTube as well. So
Yeah,
that's it.
absolutely. So guys, if you are not
Nice.
following our Instagram page, do let us. We have been facing some issues due to some technical issues and due to some strikes that you had. So don't worry, we are here to keep you entertained in YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. The best entertainment you can get is right here on this platform here. So have fun. Have a good night, all of you.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.